Hello, my name is Keenan. I'm an actor, writer, director, and acting teacher. And I am so excited to give you some tips about acting on the stage for the next up and coming festival, X Fest. So, I have some tips that I would like to share with you about what it means to be a strong actor and give a truthful performance on stage. Number one, working is working and fun is fun. For X Fest, you will need both. It's so important that when you're on stage or behind the stage, that you give it your 100% effort and 100% focus. If you're friends with your director, that is amazing, right? But at the same time, you're both trying to do a job at the end of the day. And if you're treating them like your friend and not taking what they're saying seriously, that's a lot of time and effort being wasted. Because if you don't take the director seriously, the director won't take you seriously. And it's really important that we have that rapport there. When you're in the space, on stage or off stage, performance is still happening. Our whole objective as an actor is to give a truthful performance and build a story for the audience. So if somebody hears someone talking backstage, that's that illusion ruined, right? So we owe it to each other as actors, as well as to the audience, to always distinguish what is work and what is fun, right? As soon as we're on stage, we have to establish that line so we can give that story in a truthful way to the audience. Tip number two, to do or not to do. Acting is an action word, right? So it's always important that we are out of our head and we are aware of our body, right? If you feel that you want to do something, go with that impulse. If you feel frustrated or angry or you're sad, use whatever is around you to give that truthful performance, right? Throw your script on the floor like that, right? Try and do things in this space that can surprise yourself as well as the people around you, right? Because when someone is scared or maybe something is really funny and you start laughing and you didn't expect yourself to laugh, right? Then other people in the cast start laughing and it can build into a very nice moment that's unexpected, right? Because nothing is more truthful than being spontaneous in the moment, right? We don't think about what we're gonna say. We don't think about what we're gonna do as humans, right? So embodying those characteristics and bringing them onto stage in rehearsals is always great. But I always think that it is important to do it in a safe way. You shouldn't be scaring your other cast members, grabbing a chair and just flinging it up into the space, right? Because somebody could get hurt. Number three, always be kind to your team. At the end of the day, all of us here are on a boat and we're trying to go forward so we can push this amazing righteous words forward onto the audience and in a truthful manner. If somebody is not getting their paddle and rowing, the boat, the story will just sink. It's really important that you're collaborative and you're supportive and you're easy to work with. Number four, go beyond the door. Every character is an unexplored door, right? And it's really important that you do the work and you understand why your character is saying the things that they're saying. What's their purpose of being in the story? If as me, I work in a law firm, I talk to people a lot and I'm collaborative and I have a good understanding of how people work, right? And my character is, let's say, a comedian, right? They stand up in front of a lot of people and they're able to have that communication and that connection with several people. That's a brilliant way to find that similarity and bring that truthfulness out more. Number five, keep the story alive. It's so easy for our emotions to get the better of us, right? There's nothing, I think, more vulnerable than being on stage. When you're on stage, there's nothing for you to hide behind, right? The audience can see everything physically and mentally. Our job as an actor is to be a vessel and get the righteous words, absorb them, and essentially give them out to the audience. They can connect with someone they haven't even met with. I'm not here to impress an agent or impress my mother or my father or my girlfriend or my boyfriend. I am there to give the righteous words in a truthful manner. I don't want to sound pretentious or someone who's like, oh, my favorite theater practitioner, but someone I really admire, Sanford Meisner, who also I studied a lot at Performing Arts School. He said that acting is not about what you do, it's about responding to the other fellow. It's two people on stage just listening to one another. When you're having that conversation with somebody, not on stage in real life, you don't know what they're gonna say, and you're listening, and you're aware, mentally and physically. What are they gonna say? What are they gonna do? And if we kind of embody that feeling and that mindset onto stage, there's nothing more truthful than that. Because we're just trying to recreate life and put it in front of people in a theater for this live medium, right? So acting is all about responding. Number 7, there's no such thing as rejection. There's been so many times where I've walked into the audition room and I really want this part, and then I haven't gotten it. And I let that break me. What I didn't realize is that every casting agent, every director, every producer has this puzzle that they want to complete and that they're trying to build their ensemble, right? Okay, that person fits there, that person fits there, that person fits there. Just because you don't get the part doesn't equate to your worth, right? They're just trying to find a missing puzzle piece and put it into their puzzle. Number 8, being on time is late. And you're probably thinking, well, how does that work? I'm on time. The rehearsal is at 8 p.m. I'm there for 8 p.m., right? If you think about it, you need to warm up. You need to bring yourself into the space mentally and physically. And that'll take about 20 minutes. One thing that I carry around me as an actor is this, and it's called a bone prop. And what it is I stick it on my teeth, on the front of my teeth, right? And I really try and get my tongue to force itself out so I can articulate more. And then you do your lines, to be or not to be. That is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take them arms against the sea of troubles and by opposing end them. And then once you do that, you can say the same thing, to be or not to be, that is the question. And you can notice that you're much more articulate than you were before. Number 9, it's really important that we know our lines inside and out. And it's also not about knowing our lines, but knowing the story, right? If we have a familiar understanding with the words that a character is saying, we can understand their purpose in the story. Why are they saying the things that they are saying? Who are they speaking to that they're speaking in this way? But when you memorize your lines, you say it neutrally. You go over and over again. To be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question. Because a lot of the time, when people memorize their lines, they say it in a specific way, right? And then they get stuck in this pattern because that's all they know, right? To be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question. And I've done that so many times that that's my instinct now, to say those lines. And then, when I get into the rehearsal space, my director asks me to change it, kind of. But because I've done it so many times, and I've rehearsed it in a specific way, it's hard for me to break out. Number 10, don't direct your friend. You're an actor, the director is a director. Trust yourself to do a good job. Trust your colleague or cast member to do a good job. And trust the director to see the overall picture and bring the righteous words to the audience. That has been my 10 tips. No matter what happens in this festival, right? You have such an amazing opportunity to go and audition in front of people and learn. The fact that you've gotten your words and said them in front of people is such an amazing achievement, right? This is such a great way to learn and excel and adapt as a true artist.